Welcome back to another episode of Missing Mysteries in Black and White with your two hosts, myself, Ed, and my main man, Josh.
How are we doing?
How are we doing, Josh?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. Like we said last week, life's been pushing us a bit more, but it's starting, touch wood, to go the right track for the pair of us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously still shit going on in both of our lives, but it's slowly
getting
heading the right way. Thank fucking about bloody time. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, I hope everyone else is okay.
Yeah.
We've never done this. Like, if this is your first episode of Missing Mysteries in Black and White, like, let's say I've introduced us, but we talk about everything from cryptids to conspiracies to ghosts to UFOs, anything creepy, serial killers. Anything we want, really.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
It's mainly on these kind of topics, anything weird and paranormal and that kind of thing. Where each week, Josh will do a subject and I'll do a subject. So, hopefully you enjoy listening to us or watching us, because we are on YouTube. We'll get to that at the end, though.
Yep.
But without further ado, because we are talking about something what I think is bizarre.
Yeah.
It's your subject.
Yeah.
And it's something to do with like a natural disaster which nearly created an island, but at the same time nearly killed everyone.
Yeah, well, pretty much, yeah. This is, when I say that, this thing itself didn't do it. But
it was the aftermath.
It was the aftermath of what happened because of this that led to that. So, for those that don't know, as you can tell by the title, I'm talking about the Bhola Cyclone. Why? Right, I've said it before. When I done options at school, two I chose were history and geography.
Same.
Why I didn't learn about this, I don't know.
When did it happen?
1970.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it was right in the midst of the Cold War.
Yeah.
Oh, fair.
Why I didn't know about this, God knows. And it was only just by the off chance. You know when you're like scrolling through TikTok and you see just one little thing?
Yeah.
Saw that and I was like, I'll have a look at this. And I went on the rabbit hole. Oh my fucking God. like you said, we cover all kinds of random shit. Me, specifically, I like the conspiracies and that sort of thing. This isn't a conspiracy. This is just fucking mental. That's the only way I can describe it. It is mental.
Yeah.
But no, without further ado, on November 12th, 1970, a giant storm hit eastern Pakistan. This storm has been recorded as the deadliest in history, which brought on the birth of an entire nation and very nearly brought on the end of the world due to the brink of a nuclear war. After the partition of British India in 1947, the majority Muslim state of Pakistan was divided into two territories, East and West. East Pakistan was both politically and ethnically divided from the rest of the country, which often led to rising tensions between the two regions. This region has a 575-kilometre coastline facing the Bay of Bengal, with a third of this region being less than 6 metres above sea level, as well as this region being densely populated. Because of this, East Pakistan is prone to experiencing tropical storms. Well, on November 8th, 1970, the tropical storm Nora entered the Bay of Bengal after travelling from Malaysia to the Western Pacific Ocean. This storm intensified rapidly, and by November 11th, the storm had officially become a cyclone, with winds reaching speeds of up to 145 kilometres per hour.
What's that, miles per hour?
I will soon tell you.
See, I'm trying to make them think here. Trying to make them think.
It is 90 miles an hour. So, quick, innit?
It's not slow.
No.
It's not slow.
No. And for those that don't know, basically, when you think of a storm, you get all kinds of ones. You get gale storms, you get tropical storms, thunderstorms. A cyclone is the worst of the worst. This is basically a hurricane, tornado, and just a gale force wind all rolled into one.
And a slight drizzle.
Yeah. You may get wet. Well, on the evening of November 12, 1970, the cyclone hit the flat islands off the coast of East Pakistan, and at this point the winds had reached 225 kilometres per hour. This, along with gales and pouring rain, caused a storm surge, which is basically an abnormal raise in sea level. Waves raised 10 metres upwards and began to sweep inland with nothing being able to stop it. The locals of East Pakistan were notified of the oncoming storm by a public radio shortly before 10 p.m. The wording was not only confusing, but also arrived too late. The growing cyclone had been spotted by the IMD, or Indian Meteorological Department, on November 9th. However, because of India and Pakistan having a very hostile relationship at the time, this may have caused a delay in the report. East Pakistan officials became aware of the oncoming cyclone on November 10th. They then activated the warning system. However, this system had two fatal design flaws in it. First, it required East Pakistan officials to receive authorization from Islamabad in West Pakistan before they could issue a warning to the general public. Second, it used a system that rated storms on a scale of 1 to 4, with 4 being the most dangerous. This system had recently replaced a system which used a 1 to 10 scale, but this information had not been issued to the residents of Bengal.
Oh, so they got like a rated 4.
Yeah.
They were like,
Exactly.
Right, fair.
So when it comes to the Bhola Cyclone, Pakistan officials not only delayed their response, but when they did issue the warning, like you just said, they issued the warning to the locals. The locals only believed it to be minor damage due to it being only a rating of 4. Because of this, most people didn't react or seek refuge on higher ground until it was too late. Many residents took to clinging onto trees and roofs for hours on end until the storm had passed. The Bhola Cyclone finally left at 4 a.m. on November 13th. The storm had wiped out entire villages, and the most affected area of Tazamuddin lost 45% of its population.
Jesus!
The economy of the entire region was completely wiped out, with 77,000 fishermen being killed or severely injured. 2 million acres of crops were destroyed, 280,000 cattle and 500,000 poultry were also killed, 400,000 houses and 35,000 schools were also destroyed. In today's value, the region endured almost 700 million in damages. The death toll was recorded to be around 300,000 people. However, more recent estimates claim that the toll is more around 1 million people.
1 million people died?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
This officially makes it the deadliest tropical storm of all time. Well, after the storm, a meteorologist from Miami's National Hurricane Center named Neil Frank visited East Pakistan's capital of Dhaka to investigate why the warning system had failed. The official in charge of East Pakistan's meteorology department told Frank that he had acted accordingly to the system. As soon as he heard about the storm, he informed his counterparts in Islamabad, but they had issued the green light to warn the population at a much later stage. Neil Frank also met with a Pakistani general who asked for help from the World Bank. He asked for the donation of a C-130 military transport aircraft, which could be used to patrol the Bay of Bengal and spot an incoming cyclone in advance.
I'm sorry, but do they need like a really high-tech military aircraft?
Well, this is what I was thinking.
I mean, there's probably a good reason why, but you'd have thought any kind of helicopter would do.
Well, yeah, you can see the fucker coming from a mile off.
You don't need to, like, shoot at it.
No, exactly.
Like you could just see it about, oh, that looks bad, I better tell them.
Fucking crop duster would have seen it.
Yeah, exactly what I mean.
Why do you need a C-130, you knob? Well, Frank was left with the impression that the government in Islamabad may have delayed warnings on purpose in a calculated act to suppress the hundreds of thousands of East Pakistani voters before the general election that December. The military may also have intended to use the C-130 plane to transport troops from west to East Pakistan in a preemptive plan to suppress any expected unrest, which sounds more logical than looking for a fucking storm.
Yeah. So what you're saying is so they could transport troops to if people start getting rowdy to do them in.
Yeah. And this will all make sense in a minute. Why? Well, many people shrugged this off as a conspiracy. However, there was no love lost between Islamabad and Dhaka, which is obviously the two capitals of East and West Pakistan. and growing tensions between like I just said, growing tensions between East and West Pakistan. The pair were politically divided, with the military government president Yahya Khan devoting most of its resources to Western territory. After years of a military ruling, Khan had allowed for a general election to be held on December 7th in support of the head of a Pakistani party leader, sorry if I butcher this, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, I think it is, sorry. Well, his main rival was the East Pakistani leader, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Jesus Christ. What's wrong with Darren? Right. His party strongly advocated for autonomy and independence of East Pakistan. If Yahya Khan had used the cyclone to help his friend gain power, well, then this plan severely backfired.
Sorry, but when every time you say Yahya Khan, I
Yeah.
Say for Man City, didn't you?
Well, in the aftermath of the cyclone, Khan's response was slow and callous. He only declared a state of natural disaster a week later and after constant international pressure. The government followed on with this by completely ignoring the survivors and providing very little aid, and with it being far too late. Election candidate Mujib Rahman stepped in and offered both moral and material support. Mm-hmm. This led many of the East Pakistan public to pledge their allegiance to Mujib Rahman. Fair. When the elections arrived, Mujib Rahman won the election by a landslide and became Pakistan's first elected official in years. The transition of power, however, wouldn't be as smooth, with Yahya Khan refusing to accept he had lost.
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Prove it.
This led Mujib loyalists to launch demonstrations against Islamabad governments.
There we go.
Islamabad responded with a show of force, flying in thousands of soldiers from West Pakistan in March 1971. The first began attacking the general population who was demonstrating. They then began to attack the Hindu minority, which accounted for 20% of the population.
So, when you mean the attack, they were just shooting them. Was it a peaceful protest, or...?
Oh, I think they did get a bit rowdy here and there, but they didn't harm anyone.
Right.
And these lot have just gone, nah.
Oh, my God.
You want a war, we'll give you a war, my son.
Yeah, look how that's ended up.
Yep. Soon the supporters began to fight back in an attempt to gain total independence from West Pakistan. So far, an unprecedented natural disaster had led to a landslide electoral victory, which in turn sparked a separatist conflict.
All from a storm?
Yeah.
How do you work that out?
This conflict led many Bengals to leave East Pakistan, seeking refuge in the Indian states of West Bengal. The Indian Prime Minister estimated that their economy couldn't withstand the intake of refugees, so she decided to support the Separatist Party in hope for a quick resolution to the conflict and the refugee crisis. However, Islamabad reacted with a show of force, with the Pakistani Air Force launching a preemptive strike against Indian Air Force bases.
You got to give it to them in a way. They don't take shit.
No.
They're like, oh,
you want a war? We'll bring you a fucking war, my son.
Well, Jesus Christ.
Well, this move sparked the Indo-Pakistani War. The Indian Army then invaded East Pakistan and teamed up with the Separatist Party to engage with the Pakistani regular forces. However, this was becoming even more catastrophic than once thought. Because after the border conflicts with Pakistan in 1947 and in 1965, as well as with China in 1962, India had sought an alliance with the Soviet Union.
Here we go.
Yeah. During this time, Moscow and Beijing had also been button heads due to ideological reasons. Mm-hmm. So at this moment, Islamabad's government was aligned to China and India was aligned to the Soviet Union. This is when another force entered the picture. Three guesses who?
USA!
Bang on the fucking money. Washington had traditionally been an ally to Pakistan and had also been seeking rapproche with China. The president's advisor feared that an Indian invasion of West Pakistan would facilitate Soviet expansion into South Asia, along with China's loss of influence over the region. Right. Therefore, the USA authorized a shipment of military supplies to Pakistan regular forces. Mm-hmm. When India's offense brought Pakistan to the verge of defeat, the president dispatched to the Bay of Bengal Naval Task Force 74, which is basically a what they call like a aircraft carrier ship.
Oh, yeah.
But also carries other stuff. India perceived this as a nuclear threat and called on for the Soviet to help. The Soviet Navy responded by sending a fleet of ships and submarines also armed with nuclear missiles.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So a chain of consequences due to a cyclone led the two most powerful nations on Earth to the brink of a nuclear war.
Oh, the thing is, right, I don't get it. Like, why did... I know, like, it's all about who's on whose side. But they didn't have to get involved.
No, they really didn't.
They were like... all it was like they were bored, they were twiddling their thumbs, they were like, oh, something's happening, we're going to get involved in that.
But like you said as well, this is in the peak Cold War.
Yeah.
So these two are just looking for any reason to start scrapping.
Any excuse to start fighting.
The standoff in the Bay of Bengal dragged on for a couple of days, and just when it was about to kick off, news had reached Washington and Moscow that the war was over.
Right.
On December 16th, 1971, Pakistani armed forces officially surrendered in Dhaka. Because of this, Mujib Rahman achieved his goal, and with the help of India, East Pakistan became its own country, and was officially renamed as Bangladesh.
Oh.
Their first act in charge was to dramatically improve warning systems of uncommon storms.
Really? You think?
So because one man decided not to help a region in need after a cyclone, this led to a war, a new country being formed, and almost brought on the end of the world through a nuclear war.
Jesus Christ.
So there you see what I was saying. This is just fucking madness.
Yeah. When you were saying about like the Bay of Bengal and that, I'm pretty sure I did do something about that in history.
Yeah.
And also, with this all going on, the USA, they were sending weapons and stuff to Pakistan. And I'm pretty sure one of their leading generals was Osama bin Laden.
Well, you all know how that ended.
Yeah. I'm
pretty sure he was
something to do with it.
Yeah.
I've got to look this up.
Yeah,
because
I'm pretty sure you are right. He was a war general, sort of. Not a war general, but you know what I mean. Like, he was a general in the army, so to speak.
Right. The thing is, I've just put in Osama bin Laden on Google.
You know what's going to come up. There he is. There's the boy.
What a man.
My goat.
Oh, no.
I'm joking, I promise.
You just said, my goat.
We're going to fucking Navy SEALs boot the door in a minute.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Right, yeah. Saudi Arabian-born Islamist descendant and militant leader who was the founder and first general emir of Al-Qaeda. Yeah, well, we know all about that.
But yeah, he was a military leader.
Yeah, he participated in the Afghan jihad against the Soviet Union and supported the activities of the Bosnian Mujahideen during the Yugoslav wars. Bin Laden, is the mastermind to 9/11. We don't need to go into that.
No.
We've done that already.
Yeah. If you haven't listened, check it out.
Militant Afghan Soviet war.
Here we go.
Oh no, this was actually after, because
okay.
After leaving college in 1979, Bin Laden went to Pakistan, joined Abdullah Azam, and used money and machinery from his own construction company to help the Mujahideen resistance in the Afghan-Soviet war. He later told a journalist, "I felt outraged that an injustice had been committed against the people of Afghanistan." From 1979 to 1992, the United States, as part of CIA activities in Afghanistan, specifically known as Operation Cyclone, Saudi Arabia and China provided between $6 to $12 billion worth of financial aid and weapons to tens of thousands of mujahideen through Pakistan's inter-services intelligence. British journalist Jason Burke wrote, he did not receive any direct funding or training from the US during the 1980s, nor did his followers, the Afghan Mujahideen, via Pakistan's ISI intelligence agency.
So really, because obviously you said with like China and Russia and all that sort of thing, this is when it started.
Yeah.
This is like, this cyclone was literally, it led to like with India being teamed up with Soviet Union and Pakistan being teamed up with China, which then effectively ended up with this, which then effectively ended up with 9/11.
Yeah, in some
roundabout
way.
If you think about it logically, this cyclone could potentially have ended, like, the dominoes falling, and that last domino could have been 9/11.
I wouldn't have used dominoes for that analogy.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, all these events.
With the two towers.
Oh shit, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. My bad.
That's what I mean.
I didn't think of that. But no, but like,
I know what you mean.
cause of events. It all started from a storm.
But what gets me then is the Americans were helping them against the Soviet Union. Why then did they turn?
This is what makes me think that they promised them something that they didn't get.
Yeah.
Whether it be like funding.
Aid.
Yeah, aid and like funding to help make Pakistan like, not bigger, but like.
Rebuild.
Yeah. Like, not, for lack of a better word, make it look like how Dubai is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like building resources and materials and that sort of shit.
Yeah.
They must have been promised something.
It's got to be.
You don't literally just think, nah. Do you know what I mean? I know they've helped us recently, but
yeah, they pretty much saved our asses. But you know what?
I don't like them.
I really don't like them two towers in New York. You know,
this is what I mean. It's fucking madness. It is madness.
Yeah, I think there's stuff in there. I mean, I think if we start going down a rabbit hole, we'd never come out.
Oh, Jesus Christ, no. God, no.
It'd be like walking into a black hole.
Yeah.
I just think if we went, there's probably people out there who are more clued up
about this sort of stuff. If there are and you're watching, please email us, because I'd love to get you on the podcast to talk about this sort of stuff.
Yeah, but this is your
field.
Yeah.
Like, I say field. That sounds real bad. Basically,
it's one of your biggest points of interest.
Yeah, exactly. The reason that basically realistically started this podcast from my end and led me down like the conspiracy wormhole was 9/11. That was the catalyst, the one that I was like,
Yeah.
And like I said, if you haven't listened, go and watch that episode. Listen to that episode. Unfortunately, there ain't a video for that one.
No.
But go listen to that episode, because I went as much in depth as I possibly could in that time period. I could have gone on for another 2-3 hours easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
But it was, I mean, let's say I haven't looked into it at all, really. Let's say that's not my field.
Yeah.
There's no monsters in it. I mean, well, technically there is.
Yeah,
like, Osama bin Laden is a monster. But, like, you know, they're not big and hairy or swim in lakes and stuff. So that's not my expertise.
Yeah.
So I've never really looked into it. But, I mean, I've always been interested because it is just that whole, like, how it's all turned around and why, and it's the why as well. Like, why did they do it and all stuff like that. And I'm interested. And one of my favourite films is Zero Dark Thirty.
Oh, what a film. What a film. If you haven't seen that, honestly, it is incredible.
It's one of them films, if I'm like, I mean, there's no point watching it when you're sad, because fucking hell, it's a tragedy film, really. But, like, you know, when you just sit there, you just think, I want a nice film to watch and chill out.
Chill, yeah.
I could watch that. Easy.
Yeah, 100%.
And I remember watching it recently, and I thought, the cast in it was stacked.
I know, because I remember, I don't know if you, because I went to watch it in the cinema. Was you with us?
No, I weren't.
I can't remember who the fuck I was with then, but
I think you went with Connor.
I might have done, Connor and Lewis, maybe.
Never think I went with.
But no, I remember watching it in cinema, and I was like, You notice people, but then the more you're older you get and that, the more you watch and shit, the more you notice people.
Yeah.
I swear half a fucking Game of Thrones are in that film.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. But it's, like, how well it was written and, like... it is dramatised.
Of course.
But it does show a hell of a lot and how brilliant she was.
Was her name Maya something?
Yeah, but they called her the White Widow, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's like one of the first things when she was first in it. They said like she's a killer.
Yeah,
she is a killer. She'll get.
And I'm not being funny as well, right? That's got to be such a highest honour. Not honour, but the fact that you've devoted your life, right, to finding this one guy, and then it ended up near the end where she basically had a bounty put on her head, didn't she?
Yeah.
You know you're doing something right. If they're going, she's getting in the right places. She's getting too close. Kill her.
Yeah.
You're doing something fucking spot on.
And I remember I was watching on TikTok. I know it's kind of...
It's kind of linked.
Yeah. I remember I was going through TikTok and it was one of the people who stormed Bin Laden's house. And he said like how amazing she was. She said, he is in there. This is how it's going to go down. Khalid, his son, is going to be on this floor.
Yeah.
And everything. And she was spot on.
Yeah.
She was absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
And it is when he was saying like, you would never think of it, but bloke, one of them just kept going, Khalid, like saying like, come here.
Yeah.
And he did, and it was bang, bang.
And they did that in the film as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
He literally stood there because they did it with Bin Laden as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
When they went to the top floor, just, Osama, and then for him to come. Do you know what I mean? It's
because
just...
it plays on the mental. Like it's probably like they're thinking it could be one of their lot trying to get him out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that bit, it was just
ingenious.
Yeah. So it's so simple,
it's
really.
Like I didn't really. I took notice of it, but I didn't really like. It didn't really sink in when I first watched it. But when I watched it a few times afterwards, and how perfect it was linked, how it was like they obviously had right at the beginning of the film, the guy they're torturing is the nephew of Khaled Sheikh Mohammed, who was basically the mastermind behind 9/11.
Oh, right.
And they already had him. They already had Khalid. And then he led them to that Abu Ahmed, who was living in Bin Laden's house.
Yeah.
So it was literally that whole time period, they were trying to track him because they knew he was Bin Laden's courier.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was living in the same fucking house. That is ingenious. Do you know what I mean?
And now they had the drones, but you got to, in a way, you got to give it to like people like Bin Laden now because the house and everything, they had these trees.
Yeah.
What would block out infrared.
Yeah.
And stuff. So there was like they could not see.
Yeah. They said the only reason they I don't know if this was genuine as well, but in the film they said the only reason they knew there was someone else in that house is because they saw a woman and children there. And the typical thing is with Muslim women is you either live with your parents or you live with your husband.
Yeah.
So if they got kids, then the chances are the husband's there as well.
Yeah.
And if the husband's constantly, like you said, staying hidden, he's obviously someone big.
Yeah. Someone big, someone dangerous.
Because that's what they're saying in the film as well. There's like they said, it could be an Al Qaeda operative, it could be a drug dealer, it could be anyone. It is definitely a bad guy, but it doesn't scream Bin Laden.
No.
And she was going, it's fucking him.
Yeah.
It's him, 100%. Which I don't get how they didn't click on that. Because if they were looking for that Abu Ahmed and he was living there, and they know he's Bin Laden's courier,
yeah, but it's but
you know, it's a high-end Al Qaeda operative at the very least.
But also, that just seemed, from my point of view, that just seems very sus. Like on their point, it'd be like, would you have them living with you? If they know about that, it just seems to bait.
That's just their religion, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but you know what I mean. Like the courier.
I think that's the whole thing with Al Qaeda, isn't it? It is the Islamic extremists.
Yeah.
So I suppose from their end, it's like, well, they'd be fucking hypocrites if they weren't.
Well, no, but what I mean is, it's like, from Bin Laden's point of view, like, he's your courier. He's the one who keeps going in and out. He's going to get found out. Would you really have him living in the same gaff as you?
Yeah.
He's nothing really to him apart from a courier.
Yeah.
He ain't like his son or anything like that. He was just their courier.
Yeah.
I'd have him like a couple of miles away with a burner phone.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Or like you said, live him a couple of miles away and he writes down a letter. You can't trace a fucking letter.
No. Exactly.
And then somebody else delivers that letter to that house.
Yeah, you go through like
a chain
like
sort
a check
of thing.
system.
Yeah. Well, hindsight.
Yeah.
I mean, I ain't complaining, they got him.
Fuck, that is a good film.
It is an incredible film.
And Obama's bollocks must have felt massive.
100%.
Especially when he walked out.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the morning.
Yeah.
Because it all
Clear
happened.
as day.
Yeah. Him just walking out and was like, he said it and all, and he said, we got him.
Yeah.
We got Osama bin Laden has been killed. And
Yeah.
honestly, he must have felt like big dick.
100%.
Big dick.
And funny enough as well, because I used to watch wrestling at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember there was like a show on that night. John Cena was the one who stood up after the show and announced it to everyone.
Of course.
What had happened. I was just like, oh yeah, even your bollocks must feel like, do you know what I mean? I'm a big badass.
Look, I used to like a bit of wrestling. I was never massively into it. This is going on a tangent now. I've got a massive love for John Cena.
Yeah.
For what he does. Like, he's got the world record. I don't think he does it for the world. He done it for the world record, but he's got a world record of for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
That's nuts.
I can't think off the top of my head how many, like hundreds, maybe even thousands
I'll have a quick look.
of kids he's met and everything. And I remember there was a video, and it was like John Cena was sitting there, and it was a video of his kid saying about how his mum had cancer.
Mm.
John Cena gave him his sweatband.
Yeah.
He always used to have them sweatbands, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
And he gave him it, and the kid gave it to his mum while she was going through
Oh,
chemo
bless
and
her.
everything, saying like John Cena always says, "Don't give up." And then, luckily, she went through okay.
Mm.
But while this was all happening, they were backstage,
Oh, brilliant.
and there was like when with American footballers they go through the
Yeah,
flag thing.
yeah.
He done that.
Oh, what
And
buzz?
then, it was when the kid started fucking crying, and then John Cena started crying. I started crying.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
3 hours ago, BBC, John Cena announces retirement from wrestling.
Oh, what?
What are the odds of that, though?
That's madness.
Right, Make-A-Wish. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Cena officially holds the title for granting the most Make-A-Wishes with 650 since 2002.
That's unbelievable.
650. That is nuts.
That is unbelievable. And I mean, the man is busy.
Yeah, and I'm not being funny. You'd always think, I know they're obviously, their lives are I mean, like you said, Cena's lives are busy, which these are going to be busy as well. But you would have thought it'd be someone like Ronaldo or Messi or someone like that, or even The Rock or someone along that. You wouldn't think the first name that comes to your head wouldn't be John Cena.
No.
It'd be up there. Don't get me
Yeah,
wrong.
yeah. I just think, because with America, because John Cena is just loved.
True.
He is so loved.
True.
But then he took it upon himself. He was like, "Nah, I'm doing this."
Yeah.
And honestly, what a man. What
Yeah,
a guy.
fair play.
What a guy. Love the man.
How have we gone from Bin Laden to John Cena?
Yeah, I know. Well, no one could have seen John Cena. It could have been him.
Fucking suplexing Bin Laden through the bed. Have it, man.
You can't see me. Somehow Undertaker turns up, tombstones him. The place is all in a mess and everything. All of a sudden, Undertaker just gets up.
Bin Laden gets his guns about to shoot Cena, and next thing you know, he's boom, and it just lights go out. It's like, my God, it's the Undertaker.
Undertaker was always my favourite.
Yeah,
He was a beast.
Him and Triple H, top tier goats. Top tier
100%.
goats. I fucking love them guys.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I love this podcast. We've gone from the Bhola Cyclone to 9/11 to the Undertaker and John Cena kicking the shit out of Bin Laden.
Well, you just knew it would happen. But what gets me, especially with Bin Laden, it turns out he was a massive Arsenal fan.
Was he?
He was a massive. He had his own box at Highbury.
Oh, mad!
He used to go and watch Arsenal.
Mad.
Yeah.
Oh, imagine being the person like that sat next to him or whatever. Little did you know. It's like, because I'm not being funny. If you've got like, because most stadiums, all the private boxes and that, they're next to each other, aren't they?
Yeah.
So you're gonna get to know one another. So the person who had the box to his right or something could literally be like, yeah, that's my boy Osama. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's so fucking geezer.
Yeah. He was.
And
a
little do
massive
you know
Arsenal.
what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Fucking mental. Big up.
You see them videos of that, like, celebrities, their favourite football teams. You just picture it, like Arsenal comes up and then there's just that picture of Osama bin Laden going like that. Like, oh no.
Taking a selfie with Thierry Henry.
Yeah. Sitting in the middle while they're all in their pants. Say jihad. Oh no! I just can't. The thing is, like, especially with this, it's just how it's all come from a storm.
I know.
Like, we had Storm Doris. But what the fuck?
Thing is, the way our government's going, I won't put it fucking past them.
No, that's true. That's very true. But no, I didn't know that's how Bangladesh was formed.
No, this is what I mean. I didn't know anything to do with this. It was literally on the off chance of scrolling through TikTok that I found out.
Especially so recently.
Yeah, that a storm created, like I said, a country and nearly brought on the end of the world. That is mental, because obviously, when I say the end of the world, I don't mean the world was about to blow up. But
it might as well have.
Well, it might as well have. But we all know what would have happened. Like, USA or Russia would have launched their nukes, and then the other one would have launched theirs, and then China would have launched theirs because they launched theirs, and then England would have launched theirs because they... Do you know what I mean? Everyone would have just started shooting.
Yeah. And then...
So then, and basically the world would be uninhabitable.
Yes.
I mean, if you... all I'll say is Hiroshima. That was one. One test.
Yeah. And then Nagasaki.
Imagine what these lot would do.
It's mad, because I'm pretty sure, especially with Hiroshima, I think it was... No, or was it Nagasaki? There's still a scorch mark on the ground of where someone was standing.
That wouldn't surprise me.
They were in, like, the internal, like, blast radius, and they just disintegrated, evaporated.
Yeah.
And there's still I think there's still a scorch mark to this day of where the man once stood.
That's what I mean.
Before
and this is why, again, going on...
He just got Thanos.
You ain't wrong.
You know what I mean?
But this is as well, right, where, again, going on tangent, this is what I love about Oppenheimer, because obviously he's the one that created the nuclear bomb.
Well, I wouldn't know. Would I?
I mean, I didn't go either. I watched it by myself.
I still hadn't seen it, to be fair.
It's all right.
Out of principle.
It's all right. I thought it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be a lot better. Don't get me wrong, it's a brilliant film, but I just thought there'd be more to it. But that's what I love.
Was it more... Like, so I haven't seen it.
It was basically more of the court trial afterwards. And it was just like flashbacks of him.
Yeah.
And sort of shit. And
to
like,
be fair.
Like I think it's like a 2.5 hour movie. The nuclear test happens within the first hour.
Right.
And then the rest of it is just waffle. So it is a bit... you have to be focused to watch it. You can't... Because it's so easy to zone out of it. But it is a very good film, don't get me wrong.
Well, yeah, because it's more about the actual man.
Yeah, exactly. But the one thing that I do love about the film is that you can see through the first half of it, he was so preoccupied with, can I do it, can I do it, can I do it?
Yeah, it's whether he should.
Yeah. And then right at the end, it shows the look on his face where he knows, like, I have fucked up here.
Yeah.
And look what's happened now. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's got him. Because of one man, and because he said in it, he's like, I fear what I've created. Yeah. Because I know where it's going.
Now, this is going on a tangent. It's the same as what Ian Malcolm says in Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. Like, when they was having the meal, and it was all the scientists bringing back dinosaurs to say, yeah, they said that they could do it, but they didn't ever stop to think if they should. Because look at what you've created.
Yeah.
And it is the same in a different concept, but it's the exact same message.
Principle, yeah. It's the perfect line to basically describe anything that the human race has done.
Yeah, it's always a matter, could I do it?
Yeah.
Should I do it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think of that. Because it's that whole thing of completing that task.
Yeah.
You're
so focused on finishing it.
Yeah.
That you don't realise, and that's why I say Oppenheimer...
You don't think of the consequence.
No, Oppenheimer is the perfect example of that.
Oh, God, yeah. Because he went downhill afterwards, didn't he? Mm-hmm. I'm not actually... 100%.
I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I don't know where... Is he... I'm guessing he's passed.
He must have now. He must have.
But, yeah, I don't know, like... Because it was the same... Well, not the same, but with USS Indianapolis, who actually took the Hiroshima bomb.
Yeah, he died in 1967.
Oh, did he?
He definitely did.
Oh, he did. But the captain, he killed himself.
What, Indianapolis?
Yeah. Because they always say that a captain goes down with a ship. Well, he didn't, but it was not his fault. He actually got blasted out into the ocean.
Oh, right.
And survived.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it was the repercussions. and everything. It got too much for him. He ended up blowing his brains
Which
out.
can I say? I get in a term why people say that, like, captain goes down with a ship. Fuck that. Fuck that. Don't get me wrong. I'm obviously in charge of the crew and the ship and everything, right? I'm going to make sure the crew are safe and that.
You're
but the second that ship starts sinking and everyone else is safe, I'm getting off the cunt. Why have I got to go down with this fucking thing?
Because you're part of the crew, part of the ship.
Fuck that. I'm sorry. Nah. It ain't happening. The ship is fucking sinking. Oh, what? So because this poxy piece of tin is now going underwater, I've got to go down with it, is it? Because, oh, look, I can't swim. Piss off. There's room on that rescue plane. Get me on it.
Well, yeah, but that was 3 days afterwards.
Yeah.
1,200 men went in the water. Only 300 come out.
That's another story. Like, this and that sort of thing intrigue me so much.
Yeah.
Because they happen.
I'd
Do you
love
know
to
what I
do
mean?
an episode
They
on
are
that.
they are the perfect film
Yeah.
storyline. I know the actual film was shite with Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
that was dead. But
I've got to tell a story on that because me and my nan watched it, and at the time I thought it was pretty good,
yeah,
which means fuck all because the taste of films I'm into means fuck all. But it was Lewis come round, and I think you did as well, and Nan was going on about it like, this is fucking brilliant, like you really want to see this about USS Indianapolis and that, which is interesting because we all like about Second World War and stuff like that, and it the sharks in it look like bubbles. Nicolas Cage was Nicolas Cage. I mean, how that man has been in so many films. Cause
Harry's got an Oscar.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But it is such a shit film with such promise.
Yeah.
Though. It could have. It's what it should be. That should be a film made by like Steven Spielberg. Or something, because that would be so interesting.
Or even like James Cameron.
Yeah,
because he smashed it with Titanic. So
do you know what I mean? Though
yeah.
That is a story that needs to be told.
Yeah,
I think because let's say they delivered the bomb to Guam. That's where it was going, or is that where they come from? It wasn't, I don't know. But they think, right, we've done our job. On the way back is when they get fucking sunk, and then the largest shark attack in recorded history happened because of that.
and the fact that, like you said, no one knew.
No one knew.
Nobody had a fucking clue. So
We
of
need
course
to do
you're
an
not gonna-
episode on it.
Yeah,
We need to
yeah.
do an episode.
I
on
think we should do a
Indianapolis.
joint one.
Yeah, I'm
Do a
happy
joint
with
one.
that. It won't be next week though. 'Cause
No.
I'm so looking forward to next
Yeah,
week's one.
it won't be my next one either. But
No.
the one after, we'll do it.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, because like you said, stuff like that intrigues me so much because it happened.
Yeah.
I've always said my favourite sort of films are ones that are based on true stories or have that true
Element.
of like potentially could happen, because it makes it just so much more real. Like
Raw.
I love, like, don't get me wrong, I love the Marvel films, but I'm not sitting here shitting myself thinking this is going to be some big purple bastard with a load of stones about to click his finger. So I'm good. But when you look at all the recent films, I like your Oppenheimer, like your
Zero Dark 30.
Zero Dark 30, and them sort of ones. Even like the biopics that are coming out.
Yeah.
Like Elvis is one of my favourite films.
Is it?
Yeah.
I ain't seen it.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I
It
really
is
do want to see.
absolutely
Oh,
incredible.
and I really want to see that Bike Riders.
Oh, that looks good. Yeah,
That looks
sick.
good. That looks so good. So yeah, we'll have to watch that.
Yeah, but yeah, them sort of films just draw me in because they have that realism to them.
Yeah.
And for them to have such a perfect story with Indianapolis,
Yeah.
and to drop the ball so bad.
Drop it. Drop it. They dropped it from the Twin Towers, mate. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ridiculous. But but then again, why haven't they done a film on this?
No, this is what I mean. It's nuts.
Oh, actually, speaking of really good films about it, have you ever seen the what's it called? The Perfect Storm.
No.
It's got George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, and a few others in, and it's about these fishermen, and they go out there, and yeah, it was like the worst storm in American history or something.
Right.
Yeah, their ship. The picture of it, it's like their boat going up. It's like fucking going up vertical. Such a good film. It's been years since I've seen it, because the last scene is, well, they all died.
Oh,
I've ruined it actually. Don't bother watching it now. I've only just saw about it after saying I fucked it. Sorry.
don't hour about it. But no.
But then again, because that was a true story.
Yeah.
I'll
There's another one off the top of my head, but I just can't. Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah.
Banging film.
That was a good film.
And again, fucking happened.
Yeah.
It's nuts. Some of the shit that has happened in life. Chernobyl, one of my favourite TV shows, happened. Yeah. Stuff that you wouldn't even... Your mind couldn't comprehend it happening. But it did. That's the nuts thing about all this sort of stuff. And and that's what made me intrigued about this.
Yeah.
That it nearly brought, like you said, it brought on Bangladesh and brought on...
I still can't get my head around that.
No.
Because I thought Bangladesh was always there.
So did I.
Do you know what I mean? I know that sounds bad, but like...
Well, no, but it's the same with like England.
Yeah.
You always thought England was there. It's just natural.
And it's the same with America.
Yeah.
Actually, how recent they come about.
Yeah.
You've always thought they've always been there.
No.
But no. Only the last couple of 100 years.
Yeah. Even with like Iceland.
Yeah.
It's like it didn't even enter my head that the Vikings found the bloody thing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and they called it Iceland to play a prank.
Did they?
Yeah, Iceland and Greenland.
Like the polar opposites, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, Greenland is just snow everywhere, and Iceland's lovely and green. Yeah, so they done it to play a prank.
That's what I mean, but the fact that, a new country was formed, and it nearly brought on the nuclear war because of fucking weather.
Yeah.
Like, something that nobody has control of. No. Literally, the planet just went, fuck it.
But I think it's deeper than that because it's the lateness of telling them.
Yeah, everything else that's
not even bothering of telling them how they've changed the system.
No, it's everything else, all the pieces that fit in.
But
it's like when it comes down to like the nitty gritty, like just boil it down to one fact. If that cyclone didn't happen, none of this happens.
No, that's
but
true.
At the same time, there would have been another reason for it to happen.
There'll always be a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was only 10 years beforehand, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Exactly.
Bay of the Pigs and all that. And how close. I think because that was still the closest, weren't it?
Yeah.
That was
literally
minutes.
Seconds from pushing that button.
Yeah, matter of minutes before they were going to send nukes.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank God they decided.
It always seems to get to the point where it's about to happen, and then they stop.
Yeah,
they are
the bollocks go.
Yeah, they're literally playing
thank
chicken.
God, though.
Yeah, oh, yeah. they are literally playing chicken with one another. Yeah. Every time.
I think they still are.
Well, yeah. I mean, prime example in recent history that I can think off the top of my head, North Korea and America.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, that was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Well, 3 years ago? 4 years ago?
Longer than that.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was when Trump just first come into presidency. He's been out of it for 4 years, hasn't he?
Oh, fuck, yeah. So, but yeah, about 7 years
ago,
I'd say, though.
But still, in recent history, that has probably arguably been the closest.
Yeah.
I know you've obviously got the...
In a way, I like Trump, though, because it's how what did he used to call him? He used to call
Rocket Man.
Yeah.
Rocket Man.
It's shit like that. I
watched an interview with him, and he said when they met, he actually brought him a Rocket Man LP.
Of course he did.
he said, no, it's a compliment. He said, it's a good song, listen to it.
Of course he did. You can't give him credit, really.
He'll get in again.
Well,
there's no way in hell, right? I know we're going on politics and all this shit, but there is no, regardless of whether you agree with Trump or Biden, there's no way that man's health is going to keep him in that office for another 4 years.
No.
He is the definition of fucked.
But it's sad to see.
It's horrible to see.
Yeah, because a few years ago, when Obama was still in power, because he was the vice president, weren't he? He seemed like he would have been
He was on it.
He would have been a really good president.
But that just goes to show how quick your health can deteriorate.
Yeah,
the guy struggles to talk. But the thing that annoys me about it, and I'm not even American, so really I shouldn't really give a fuck. But the thing that annoys me about it is that he's got his whole people behind him, his vice president, his teams. One of them has to turn around and be like, "You can't do this. Yeah. You were going to force yourself into an early grave." The guy is, let's be honest, we all know. He is in the stages of dementia.
Yeah.
100%. That guy cannot run the United States of America.
No. But, right, now this could be a very good conspiracy episode. Because it's how he is. But the country has still been running.
Mm-hmm. But apparently a load of Americans are saying it's piss poor.
Maybe. But it does seem like there is actually a government body in the shadows,
Maybe.
actually pulling the strings.
He's just the front man.
He's just, yeah.
Well, it more than likely is. It's more than likely.
Well, it's the same with
doing
the
everything.
It's the same with the. Well, it's not the same, but it's like with the SS and Hitler.
Yeah.
Like Hitler was just the poster boy.
Yeah.
He was just the face. He was the voice.
It was all the others that were the assholes.
It was Goebbels and Himmler and people like that.
And all them bollocks. Yeah.
They were the ones who were actually the bad bastards.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitler weren't great. Don't get me wrong.
But it was just like you said, he was the poster boy.
Yeah.
But it is probably his government, because I'm not being funny. If the guy can barely, because I saw it on the news the other day, that debate speech they had between Trump and Biden.
Yeah.
You get he can't string a sentence together.
He looks
It
tired.
got to the point where even Trump is like, I don't know what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's not even trying to do it like typical Trump, take the piss. He's like,
is he okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone check on this guy. But he can't. There's no way in hell he can do the day-to-day presidential operations. No way in hell.
And the thing is, I know a lot of people hate Trump for what he says and everything, because he's very outspoken and everything. But when he was in charge, the country,
it did profit.
Economy skyrocketed.
Yeah.
He made peace talks with North Korea
and Russia.
Like, he was getting things done.
Yeah.
I know it was the whole thing of build a wall and all shit like that.
Yeah.
But that was just, I don't know, that was just to please some people. But
this is what I mean. You know it's bad when the people that voted for Biden and they're turning around and going, he's got to go.
Yeah.
Not even because of his health, just because of how piss poor the country's gone. It's ridiculous. But we can't talk. We're just as bad. Yeah. Our country is fucked.
Yeah, I don't want to go.
Yeah, no, fuck politics.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But, no, just, this whole story is just mind-boggling.
Oh, yeah, if you saw it as a Hollywood film, you wouldn't think it was even true.
You would go into that film thinking, this is so far-fetched. The fact it fucking happened is bizarre.
Yeah. Like you said, how some weather nearly brought on World War III. That's mad.
This is what I mean. But like you said, these two, Russia and America, were just looking for any excuse.
It's like going into a pub and there's just like two people, and all it takes for them to look at one of them funny. Like,
yeah,
you want some?
Yeah, exactly.
Just any excuse to have a fucking scrap.
And really, it was just nothing more than a dick measuring competition between the two.
Yeah.
We're the power. No. Do you know what I mean? It's just, shut up.
And the thing is, that all started because of what they wanted to do with Germany after the Second World War.
Yeah.
Whereas Russia wanted to bring them to their knees, and America and England was like, nah, let's try and rebuild them, but in a good way. They're like, nah, fuck them.
They tried it once, and look what happened.
Yeah.
Do you really want to have it happen a third time? Just reminded me of a TikTok I saw. It's obviously to do with the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Oh, right.
And it was saying, because of how tensions are heightening between all these different countries, Germany are looking to mobilise a military again, which was the first time after World War II. And all it had was literally these kids staring up at the sky, at this clouded sky.
What, does it form into a swastika?
With a swastika in the air. And all it had playing in the background was the Lion King music just going, remember. I couldn't help but piss myself. It was fucking brilliant.
It's the same. It was like, I've seen stuff similar, and it was like, it's like, you know, it's like usually like the one lad or so.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, we're gonna help, and then it was like, well, Germany like, we're gonna help, and everyone's like, like, oh no.
It's just the Lion King music, and then just out of nowhere you just hear, remember. I was like,
who you are.
Oh my god.
Like, please don't. I feel sorry for Germans, really. Because every time there's an argument between like a British and a German, that's always going to come up, isn't it?
You can't.
You fucks.
Yeah. But especially for the Germans, they can't come back from it. It's like, well, I suppose we did do that.
Yeah. But they always say, he was Austrian.
Oh, brilliant. But no, I think that's about me done.
Yeah.
So, Ed, what are we doing next week?
He's coming back.
Oh.
The big man is coming back.
Oh,
I've got to talk about it. It's been a long time.
it's been a very long time.
I've got to bring him back. We are going to be talking about the different types of Bigfoot
Oi.
in America. Because, like, as mad as that sounds, like, we always know it as Bigfoot or Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm.
In all different states, they've got their own names for them. I'm not going to go into it. We'll leave that till next week.
Yeah.
But there's quite a few. And, I mean, I'll name one because it's quite a well-known one. It's from Florida called the skunk ape.
I've heard of that, actually.
And, like I say, so when you hear of skunk ape, you don't think of Bigfoot.
No, you just think of some monkeys with pongs.
So that is one of them. There's loads. There's like Ohio,
The other states.
yeah. No, don't worry. There's more than two. I promise you. But yeah, so it's just been too long.
Yeah.
When you think that was our first proper podcast,
That was, yeah.
Bigfoot.
That was.
And I've done one on
The geezer's on the logo.
Yeah, and I've done one on UK Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So I've got.
Oh, you've done the Yeti as
and
well.
the Yeti and the Yeren.
Yeah. And the...
Did I do the Yowie?
Yeah.
I've done the Yowie.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I've done them, but I've got to keep bringing them back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like when you think Bigfoot was one of the pillars of this podcast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like how I was saying with 9/11
9/11
Bigfoot was
is a pillar.
yours.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
Bigfoot and Nessie.
Yeah, but it's mainly Bigfoot because before we started the podcast, like when I was just deep into my research of cryptozoology, like Bigfoot was my main focus.
Yeah.
And I've had to like spread out a bit, so I've probably forgot stuff and everything like that. So I'm trying to bring it back
Yeah.
and everything, but yeah.
He's coming on. He's coming on.
So yeah, Bigfoot is back.
Up the Bigfoot. But no.
And actually,
Oh.
it'll be a good conversation because we've been talking to people, we've been doing our like chatting just amongst ourselves and that. I want to hear your thoughts on Bigfoot actually next week, like to
What,
see
like-
where you stand on it now.
Oh, okay.
Because
Okay.
I listened to the first episode, and it'd been interesting to see what you think.
yeah,
if
okay.
anything's changed. Or
Well,
anything like that.
I'm not going to listen back because I don't
no,
want that to influence my
Yeah,
idea
yeah,
now.
No, that'd be good.
Yeah.
So,
But no, other than that, Ed, where can they find us?
well, hang on. I've made it easier for myself.
Hey.
I have made it easier, kinda. If I can get to it quick. This fucking thing. Right. Well, you can follow us on Facebook, which is Mr. Mysteries in Black and White. That is our group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, group Facebook, so you'll have to get out like accepted, but that's where we upload all our episodes.
Yeah.
And sometimes we try and do like conversations and stuff. If it works or not.
Yeah. And don't worry, you will get accepted.
Yes.
You'd
yeah,
have
yeah.
to be
a proper prick
to not be
get-
accepted. You'd have to be like white supremacist level to not get accepted.
I'd put your arm down then if I were you. You can follow us on Instagram, which is Mr. Mysteries _, like the actual underline bit. That's again where we put pictures up and everything of our podcast episodes. We need to start like just putting
Random
pictures
stuff
and
up,
then
yeah.
putting a bit of an explanation.
But to
on
be
that.
fair, we need to go out to do that.
Yeah, that is very true.
I don't think it go well on the Mr. Mysteries Instagram. It's like, here's me in my house.
no, but like just pictures off the internet
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could see what
Clever.
you could follow us on Twitter or X or whatever it's bloody called now, which is Myths and Mysteries 1. No, Myths Mysteries 1. There's no and. You could follow us on TikTok, which is Myths and Mysteries 10. That has got an and in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can email us, and that could be theories you've got. That could be sightings you've had of any cryptid, alien, ghost, anything. But yeah, that could be criticisms, what you don't like about the podcast, what you didn't like about the certain episode, what you'd like changed. That could be praises, which we'd prefer. So that could be like what you enjoyed about the podcast, what you'd like to see more of, what we do.
Mm-hmm.
That could be ideas. If you have any ideas for future episodes, if any kind of like conversation starter. If you want merch, which at the minute we're starting to get more.
Yeah, we are.
We're starting to get more. We're still trying to work on some designs, but that has been a slow bear at the minute. Yeah, email us about that, what you want and everything. I think that covers it for the email.
Yeah. Or if you just want a general chit chat.
Yeah, if you just want to chat to us. Oh, if you've any ideas for people, if you want to come on the podcast as a guest, or if you've got any idea of someone who you'd like us to interview or anyone like that, yeah, let us know. And that's at missingmysteries@outlook.com. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Best way is through our links on our social medias, because it is still a bugger to find because of the algorithms. But that is Missing Mysteries. If it's got that logo,
It's us.
it's us. Yep, covers for all our socials now. Josh, where can they listen to us?
Well, even though if you fancy listening on another platform or all of them, you can find us on Podbean, Spotify, Amazon, Samsung, Podchaser, Player FM, and iHeartRadio.
Lovely job.
So thank you very much for watching or listening or both, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Happy hunting.